Back problems. We're live. Alright, you can intro this time, Ray.
Good morning. Here we are for Shane and Ray's question and answer in ENERGISED Jiu, episode number 10. We've got a couple of great questions today, Shane. First one is, why do I get recurring back problems? So we know that this is an issue for a lot of people, is that they suffer with chronic back problems. It goes away for a while, comes back. So how about you as a PT trainer?
Yeah, sure.
What do you see?
Okay, so the number one thing is mobility. You know what I mean? And especially as the clients get older, a really common thing, like 95% of people I do initial consult are kyphotic. So what kyphotic means is this. And with the spine, yeah, like that. But my shoulders are like this, because we're doing too much of this, too much of this, too much of this, and not enough of this.
Yeah, great point.
Okay, so what that does is tighten up the psoas and the hip flexors, and what that does is, all depending on what you do for sports, is the tightening can be on one side, which pulls the pelvis out. Usually what it does is tuck it under too much. I'll be right there in saying, right, anatomically. And what that causes is an imbalance of the pelvis, an imbalance of the hips. And you talk to any good, like I have a chiropractor for a lot of my clients too, and it's a really common problem. Now, how you help dealing with that is not going and getting a massage, and that massage is important, is daily mobility practice. Yep. Daily. And it's not something, and you should be starting off when you're 18. It's important then, but it's absolutely critical when you start going 30 plus. Yeah. Mobility, and every workout we do here at the gym, there is mobility in every single workout before we warm up.
And that's a key thing, mobility. And like in my work, I do a lot of postural realignment work because it is such a common problem. In fact, here in Australia, 1 in 6 people have recurring back problems. Yep. And the statistics say that 70 to 80% of people will suffer back pain at some stage in their life. Yep. Now, the most common back pain is down here in the lumbar area, the low back. And optimally, we want your head sitting on top of your spine, and the spine is the foundation. Yep. Now, as Shane says, if you've not got mobility, you get stuck in different postures. So we put a link there on this live where you can see I do a little video link about how to get your correct posture. Yeah. But it's mobility, but then you also need stability.
Correct, core strength. That's right. So I'll leave in my second part. Now this is where things like Pilates, yoga, also your PT, or your trainer, or your, or your therapist, knowing what the human body needs. So there's two things in the physical body: there's strength and there's flexibility. So there's being able to move something and movement. Do you know what I mean? So core functional strength, compound strength, as a part of the human movement. And the other thing is how far can the joint move. You know what I mean? So that's mobility. So the number one thing I always like to talk about clients is mobility. Look, my mobility was terrible 5 years ago. I did not do, and I did very, very small to minimal when I was competing as a mixed martial artist and competing in Jiu Jitsu. And I've trained for 16 years, 16 years consistently. And we do a little bit, when we warm up, we do. Yeah, we do. But I would say when I went down the road getting into the MMA, where it was a little bit more of an individual journey than a group class, so we come in and spar each other sometimes on a Saturday with no coach there, we wouldn't warm up. It'd be like jump rope for a minute and then you go, you know what I mean? And one thing I've carried over is my neck. I've had a bulging disc 3 times in my neck. I need to mobilise my neck. If I do not mobilise my neck consistently now, I have problems. I get nerve pain. I get stiffness. I suffer from kyphosis. It's not as bad as it was, but I'm working on it. It's a constant battle. And there's anyone that tells you to do a good strength conditioning program, it's a consistent battle for strength and mobility. Yeah. You know what I mean? And everything in between. And I think the most important thing when you're any form of athlete, whether you're 63 or you're 35 or you're 18, is how your joints move and and it's a sign of joint health.
Absolutely, and as we age, it becomes more important. But it's that mobility, doing things that keep your back, your whole spine mobile. So flexion, extension exercises, rotation exercises. But it's the stability of the muscles so that they become more in symmetry and not really tight on one side and stretch too much on the other side. And the third part is strengthening. Yes. And so we get the mobility, we get the stability, and then we have to strengthen it. So the strengthening of the muscles keeps the stability.
100%.
And all the time, and I'm continually telling my clients as well, if you're going to do contractive exercises like you're actually doing bicep curls, well then you need to do something to stretch them straight up.
Yeah. Antagonist.
That's right, you contract, stretch. So the big problem with the lower back as well, look, if you carry any excess weight around here, this additional visceral fat is going to put stress and strain on your joints. Yeah, your spine is designed for a certain amount of weight bearing, and the more weight you keep piling on your body is compressing all these vertebral discs and therefore limiting nerve function, all sorts of things happening. So you really got to look at weight, and that comes back to your internal health as well. You've got to do your food choices, your digestive health. You've got to do your cardio exercise, as well as everything. It's a whole package. It's not just, I'll do this exercise on my back. And in fact, one of the best exercises for your lower back is pelvic floor exercises. We'll go into that in another video. I think we need to go on to
the next question. Another thing I have that's really good for the spine is spinal traction. You know, every single one of my clients, depending on their grip strength, I get them to hang off the pole. You know what I mean?
That's good.
It's a great, and the other thing is, I actually own an inversion machine, which I use where I tie my feet up and fold upside down. They thought it was an old wives' tale 20 years ago. I remember Dad's mate from the coal mining, tied up, hung himself a bad back. Dad thought, oh, what a load of crap. Now it's scientifically proven, because once again, with the spine, when we're kyphotic, we're folding forward and the joint actually contracts, and it can sometimes get tight and seize at the front. It's very cool. I've had that before, you know what I mean? From kickboxing, just jabbing all the time, my thoracic is twisted and runs to the front, so I have to constantly work on stretching it back, folding it forward, folding it out, forwarding it up. So I think that's another really important.
We're all going to have different occupational health imbalances due to what we do, whether you're typing, whether you're a fighter, you're
a driver,
everything. That's
office.
Right. So and look at my Instagram link there. You'll find actually decompression exercises
100%.
For that spine as well in there. Okay, we need to go into our next question. And this one is vitally important for anything you're doing, whether it's healthcare or not. And that is, what happens when I set myself a goal and I determine that I'm going to do something and I really get thrilled and excited about it, and then people around me just start cutting it down, saying, Ray, you can't do that. Like, for instance,
you're too old.
Exactly. When I was 59, I said, I'm going to do my first ever cage fight. The harassment I got from people around me, you're stupid, you're too old, you'll kill yourself. Now, all that stuff, for me, just goes, oh, really?
I'm going to do it.
I'm going to do it just to prove you wrong. But not everyone has that mindset. So what do we do?
I'll take this one. I love this one. So chip on the shoulder. So I'm going to talk about I was picked on relentlessly in primary school. Relentlessly, you know. And what it really gave me, and also probably having a very friction sort of relationship with some close relatives growing up, it really gave me a chip on the shoulder. It's like, I don't care what you tell me, I'm going to do it. And I think the problem with a lot of people is when they take adversity off someone, and especially people you don't know, you know what I mean? But of people you know, it's hard, but it's even hard of someone you don't know, like for example, on the internet or on social media, you say something, everyone's going to come in and attack. The reality is you're only contributing to them by letting them affect you, you know what I mean? For me, alright? Don't become a personal trainer. Stay on the tools as a carpenter. It was one of the most positive decisions in my life. Don't get into MMA. Don't start fighting. Don't fight professionally. You know, like my mum, and I love my mum, but she's like, Shane, don't do it. It was one of the most character building exercises I've ever did in my life. And it's something, I don't know if I call it a bucket list, I don't know if for you it was, but it was part of my progression as a man. You know what I mean? As a martial artist, you know? So the amount of times I had people not tell me not to do things, and then I went and did it and showed them, kept motivating me. And I think that's what gives me I think I'll give myself a strong mindset, is because I love when people not know what to do. I'm like, you know what? Stuff you, I'm going to show you.
Okay.
It's my way of dealing with it.
And that can be the attitude for a lot of people. Look, I retired as a lawyer in 1980 and went to become a natural health therapist at the age of 25. You can imagine what my good old Italian parents thought about that type of decision, from their son who become a lawyer with a real profession, earn lots of money, to then give that all up and become a natural health therapist. So if you got the mindset, now I went with a group of people who all said, yeah, let's do this. And so we did the study together, and it was great. So what you've got to decide is that are you going to listen to your own inner voice and follow that passion or whatever you want to do, or are you going to listen to the voices of everyone around you?
Yeah.
And remember that any real race is going to be solely run by yourself.
You against yourself.
Yeah, you are the determiner of what happens. And look, Henry Ford said a wonderful thing which I use a lot and think about a lot. He said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right.
Yeah.
And for me, it comes down to it. It's whether
100%.
you think you can or
100%.
you think you can't.
100%.
It's not what other people think. And so for me, it's just always a natural process. Well, I'm going to then seek the people who I want to surround myself, who are going to support me in my goal. Look, if you want to catch the flu, hang around in a room with people.
That's right.
Who've got the flu. If you want to get healthy, hang around with healthy people.
Positive.
So hang around with people who have the same type of goals, and you support each other.
Yeah.
And there's another thing that when people say, don't worry about what people think about you. And it's absolutely true, because the fact is, people don't think about you.
Yeah.
You think they think about you.
They think about, they think about them.
Yeah, they've got their own lives happening. They might say something to you. So really is focus on yourself.
Yeah.
If you need
trust your
that,
gut. Trust your gut. Trust your gut.
Prove other people wrong if that's the motivator for you. But simply, when you know your inner voice says, no, I'm going to do this for myself, well then you need to lead the light. You need to be the guiding light to show people. I don't go breaking it out there to people saying, massive, I'm going to do this, yeah. I'll make goals and I'll sometimes publicise them. Like I've said, I've got a 10-year goal to go black belt in mixed Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. That's a long planned goal that I'm working on all the time. But I don't go out there every day going, yeah, look at me, I'm doing it. You just got to work with it.
Keep chipping away.
Working with it.
Keep chipping away. Keep chipping. And that leads to patience, you know what I mean? And that's the number one thing. Look, I'm going to wrap this up because I've got a client on that stuff, but I think the number one problem that a lot of people have, and especially if you come from a jiu-jitsu, like the amount of people that me and Ray have seen come into that gym, put a gi on and get to a black belt is a 1%.
Yeah.
Lower, I reckon.
Yeah.
And the reality of it is, you just got to stay the course. You've got to block out what everyone says, and you just got to keep going. And the worst thing is, don't listen to yourself when you're telling yourself not to do things. You know what I mean? That's the most important thing. There's always the angel and the devil, and and whatever way you want to look, but you just got to stay the course and you're going to keep going, because if you keep going, you're either going to win or you're going to learn, and 99% of the time you're going to win.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
When
so
someone says one thing negative to you, go and find another person who will say something positive.
So I've got to go, guys. I'm going to leave it at that.
Thanks very much.
We're going to wrap it up.
We're all right.
Have a good day, guys.
Okay, enjoy.